This is all that's left of Lilleshall Abbey. Lilleshall Abbey was founded in the 1140s for a small community of Augustinian canons. The founding community was brought here from Dorchester Abbey in Oxfordshire. As at Dorchester, for a time the canons followed the specific customs and daily religious observance of the important Augustinian monastery at Arroy. Yeah, read that. Arroy in northeastern France. By the late 13th century, Lilleshall had become a religious house of great reputation and prestige. In all, the monastic life was maintained for almost 400 years until the abbey was suppressed on the orders of King Henry VIII in 1538. The surviving abbey buildings almost all date from the late 12th and early 13th centuries. Many other structures have been lost, their foundations partially recovered by archaeological excavations in the late 19th century. These central buildings stood in a much larger monastic precinct, enclosed by a stone wall and gates. In the 14th century it was mismanaged. It was in a financial crisis. Apparently there was outside officials on the payroll, stewards, auditors, and they were drawing salaries while the actual monks ran out of money. So it was the same back then as it is these days. Outside officials on the payroll, sucking the money out. In 1536, it narrowly escaped the first wave of dissolution. In 1538, it dissolved anyway. It was sold to Sir Richard Leveson, converted into a private house. When it closed, it had 9 canons, 43 servants, 1 school teacher. It had more staff than it had monks, so it was more like a hotel than a monastery. And in the Civil War, it was fortified by the Leveson family. He was a royalist. In 1645, it withstood a parliamentarian siege. It was a military target. This building survived the Black Death. It survived Henry VIII by 2 years, and then a war finally finished the job. So let's have a look. Don't know if this is meant to be open. Don't know if it's safe. It's pretty dark. Oh my God. Wow. Come up at your own risk. usually little fences in places like this, stop you jumping off. And maybe a rail, a bit of a rope when you're coming down these. So in front of us here is the heart of the Abbey church where the canons attended their daily services and when Mass was said. It would have looked like that. So there's a choir in there. The abbot was Robert Watson. The canons gathered in the choir 7 times each day to celebrate the divine offices, the work of God as it was known. The abbey was closed in 1538 at the time of the suppression of the monasteries. 1 year later it was granted to James Leveson of Wolverhampton, whose family lived in a house on the site until the Civil War. Fortified for the king, the buildings were severely damaged during a parliamentary siege in 1645. That would have been a massive stained glass window probably. Oh, look up there. So I reckon most of this damage would have been done in the war and whatever, because none of this looks like it's going anywhere. It looks solid as hell. What have we got in here? That one's shut. Probably not safe. Go up the top of that one and you just walk straight out. Slipe or parlour. This narrow passage had doors at either end, probably giving access to the canon's infirmary to the east of the cloister. It may also have served as the parlour where the canons would discuss important matters without breaking the cloister rule of silence. So this is like a little gossip corridor. Or have your little fag break. Chapter house. The canons met here every morning, usually after Mass. They listened as a chapter from the Rule of Augustine was read, confessed their faults and discussed abbey business. Surviving grave slabs are a reminder that the chapter house was often the place where abbots were buried. That gate's locked. And there's no one here. I'm the only person here. This is all locked off. Must not be safe. What's in here? The refectory. The doorway to your right, over there, leads to the canon's refectory, the room where they ate. Bread and beer were the staple elements in the community's diet, but fish, eggs and vegetables were also eaten. Meals were taken in silence apart from one of the brothers reading from the scriptures. So he'd be banging on it while you're eating your bread and drinking your beer. So there it is, Lilleshall Abbey, mismanaged, run into the ground because people were greedy and took had their fingers in the pie. Still here though, 2026, still here. But it's not used for anything and nobody's here, except for me. And vicariously you. The end.